I listen to this man, Heather. I sneak peek.
Right.
I go on his Instagram. I don't care when he posts those still frames. I don't want to see him in shorts and sneakers and stuff like that. I want to hear what he has to say because he gave me permission to forgive myself. I often sit in guilt that I don't know how to rid myself of. Mm-hmm. I be guilty about stuff I didn't do.
Like not calling me back on Saturday?
I didn't feel any guilt for that.
Nothing?
Relief.
Did you feel guilty about calling me at 4:30 a.m. this morning, though?
I feel pleasure in that. Maybe we got to talk to David
Yeah,
Weber.
we do.
Why
About
do I
our
feel
relationship.
About our relationship.
Yes.
I took pleasure in calling her at 4:30. I knew I would wake her up.
For no reason, David. But not call me back at 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. How do you do that?
What do you say? How
do you take advantage of your sibling this way? You said family dynamics.
Yeah, go back to boundaries. Don't be calling me no 4:30. Don't call me at 4:30.
No 4:30. She got to say she never told me not to call her at 4:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just want to say that.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
But especially with family members.
Yeah.
I have this thing where there are family members who are no longer on this planet, and I feel obligated to do certain things for other family members because of the family members who have transitioned would like for me to do it. They're no longer here. They're only in my spirit, my mind, right?
Yeah.
In my heart. But I carry guilt.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If I don't help a friend or a family member in need, when I know I kind of don't think it's healthy for me to even help them.
Right.
I feel like I'm enabling, right?
You are.
I am.
Mm-hmm. You are.
Okay, and is that by enabling? And we're talking. I'll give examples. Folks who are trying to get ahead, and you constantly feed them resources so they can get ahead, but they never get ahead, and they may never do what they planned on doing, or what they said they would do.
Yeah.
And I still go back. Right, people who I think are doing just living wrong, just living wrong, not living their best. Let me say that. I'm trying to change my language. Hold up, not living their best. I see it, and I might give them, hey man, here's some pointers, here's some guidelines.
Yeah,
this might help. You say you look at what I've done, you might admire what I've done. Here's what I've done. Maybe it's something in that you can apply to your life, maybe. And they don't do it, but they always want the help.
And right. That's the knowledge that you're giving them is worth more than the money.
Mm-hmm. Speak on that. Speak in your mic, too.
Oh, my bad. The knowledge that you're giving them is worth more than money.
Uh-huh.
Showing someone how to do something, showing them how to fish is worth way more than giving them a fish, right? And so the question for me, if I was your therapist, I'm not your therapist, but if I was
your act like you are, that's why I got you up here, damn it.
The question I would ask is, why do you feel guilty? Like pull back the onion. Why do you feel guilty about that?
Because I don't want to see my people not doing as well as me.
Okay, now peel that back.
Okay.
You don't want them. You don't want them doing not being on the same level that you're on. You want to give them opportunities to do their thing, right?
Yeah.
But if they don't want it for themselves, not saying that they don't, but if they don't want it for themselves, that's not on you. That's on them, right? So at the end of the day, if I'm giving you these tools, you can use them or not use them. But if I feel guilty for that or I feel shame for that, then I have to peel that onion back, and that's what therapists are for. Going into therapy, having a talk with your therapist, and saying, "Listen, I'm feeling guilty about a lot of stuff that I know I shouldn't feel guilty for."
Yeah, and
then you all begin to peel that back, because oftentimes that goes back to childhood, that our childhood trauma shows up in our adult lives.
What? How can you apply? I wonder, how do you apply that to my childhood? I mean, we had my grandparents, God bless them, Claude and Elsie Waters, give a round of applause for the amazing job that they did with this huge family they created. But we didn't grow up destitute, we didn't grow up filthy rich or nothing like that, obviously. But how does that revert back to my childhood, that guilt?
So sometimes there's direct pressure and indirect pressure. So indirect pressure is guilt tripping. Right, your dad went to work all day long and you can't even take care of your homework, right, or whatever it may be, right. That's that guilt tripping the child, guilt tripping, whoever it may be. And then there's direct pressure, yelling, screaming, going off. You got to be more like this. You got to be more like that. Why aren't you doing your stuff? And I would encourage parents, so that we don't have the trauma later on in life, is to encourage your kids to be good people. Encourage them to find their purpose. Encourage them to be kind to others and patient and loving and caring. Those things are much more valuable than you just simply living, because we live our lives through our children sometimes. That's what we do. And so if there was something in my childhood that I didn't resolve, and I didn't make it to the NBA, or I didn't this, or I didn't that, now I want you to, right? And so everything becomes about you fulfilling the things I did not fulfill, right?
Wow,
and
yeah.
now you may grow up later on in life having guilt about them not, right? Even if it's not your own children, them not fulfilling their best self. But oftentimes that's learned in childhood.
That's learned in childhood.
Learned in childhood.
You bring up that point. We got our Rap Dads podcast, and Rhymefest said something really interesting, and it really took off. People really tuned in to what he had to say, and it was about generational wealth, but the dynamic between the parents and the kids, similar to what you just said.
Generational wealth ain't property. Ain't no man that I ever met that said he wanted to leave generational wealth for his kids and looked at it in terms of material. I never met a man that died that left that. Your kids don't want your house. That's a burden.
Wow.
Your dream was the business, that I'm going to build the business. You're doing that to be selfish, and you putting your kids' name on it. They don't want that business. They want to know how to build their own business.
There it is.
It gives me chills because it disturbs me how we think that money is the replacement for training and love. We're buying into the enemy's message of wealth.
Rhymefest, man. Go to Rap Dads on YouTube, on Sway's Universe. That's the YouTube channel. You can see this full episode. That was so powerful. You could go to the Rap Dads Show on Instagram, the Rap Dads Show on Instagram. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree.
Yeah.
There's a book by Mark Wolin called "It Didn't Start With You," how family trauma shapes who we are, right? So if you don't please go out there and get that book. So I love how he said it. Your dreams are your dreams. They're not your children's dreams. And that's really hard for us to digest and understand and process, because, hold on, wait, I got some things, again, I didn't accomplish in my life. I got some things that I think are valuable. I find value in those things. And naturally, I want to pass those things down to you. But your child is great with their hands, or your child is great at math, or your child is great at sports. It's not necessarily the same path that you had, and they don't necessarily have the same desires that you had. And that can be hard, especially when you think about young children. You was praying for your children. You wanted the boy or you wanted the girl, and you see them in a little crib, and you excited about them, and you are already creating this made-up image of who they will be without knowing who they actually are.
Wow. David Weber is here. Give out your Instagram, citizens. We're going to open up these phone lines.
Wow.
888-742-3345. David, give out your Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is David Weber _LPC. That's David, WEBBER _LPC.
Topics are, if you want to talk about your family dynamics with parenting and kids, or maybe you're the kid or maybe you're the parent, call up, or any other thing you want to talk to them about. We got Rich from Philly, our resident attorney's here with his lovely wife, Alexa, and maybe they got a question. They're a year and a half in their marriage, so they're going to come up with a question for you. This is their therapy. That's up next. 888-742-3345. We're in the middle of a session right now with David Weber.
Mental Health Mondays.
That's right, Mental Health Mondays. He has a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling from Northwestern University. He's official.
Yes.
Okay, and Rhymefest said this.
Generational wealth ain't property. Ain't no man that I ever met that said he wanted to leave generational wealth for his kids and looked at it in terms of material. I never met a man that died that left that. Your kids don't want your house. That's a burden.
Wow.
Your dream was the business that I'm going to build the business. You're doing that to be selfish, and you putting your kid's name on it. They don't want that business. They want to know how to build their own business.
There it is.
It gives me chills because it disturbs me how we think that money is the replacement for training and love. We're buying into the enemy's message of wealth.
David Weber is here with us. So you agree with Rhymefest?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we have Sean on the line. Sean is from Pennsylvania. What are your thoughts, Sean?
All right, real quick. I disagree because, well, when you said that last part, I believe that some kids' dreams are a reflection of the parents' dreams. When you look at Bronny James, Jalen Brunson, and so many father and son combos that are NBA duos, things like that. And I also remember you made a statement years ago. I don't know if it was somebody you went to school with or somebody that owned a plumbing company, where the parent made the child go through every job in the company to learn learn how to build their own business. Well, that's a reflection of them doing that. And generational wealth. And I do believe he met somebody that left generational wealth in terms of something that's tangible. Like, we can't get away from that when you look at Rolex and all of these people that are heirs of multi-billion-dollar companies that are trust fund babies and things like that. So we can't really get away from that and the reality of it. It does come down to material and wealth and stocks and land and things like that, stuff that you can really see. So I disagree with that one.
What are your thoughts, David?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with passing down, generational wealth to your children, but I think the gist of what he's saying is, giving them more than that. Like, you started your own business. They don't necessarily want your business. They want to learn how to create their own business. You use LeBron and Bronny James. Like, Bronny has from what I know, he has the same dreams to make it to the NBA and play and do those types of things. So there's nothing wrong with that if your son or your daughter has the same dreams as you. What we're talking about is when it differs from your dreams. If you have dreams for your child and are not the same as yours, not sort of putting the pressure on them to do what you do.
All right. Hey, Sean, thank you, man. I love the discourse, brother.
No problem.
All right, you super citizen,
Yes,
man.
This way in the morning.
My man, Sean. Darisha's on the line. Go ahead, Darisha. She's from
Darisha.
OKC.
Good morning. Good morning. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys. As an LPC myself, I appreciate Mr. Weber in this conversation. I work within a school district where we're placed inside the school to provide services for the children, and I've seen how much it has helped, and the program has grown the last 2 years I've been there. And what I tell the teachers and the parents is that these kids need more than monetary things, because right now they're lacking the skills, the social skills, the coping skills to be productive citizens. And so that's generational wealth. If we can't heal from our generational curses, then we're not going to be productive individuals. So I completely agree, because it's more than money. All these kids right now see TikTok and phones and shoes, and that's what they base their lives on. And so they don't have that foundation. So I totally agree. But we do want to keep teaching these kids about financial literacy, which we do provide in our program. But I agree with Mr. Weber. And as LPC, a black LPC, I appreciate you.
Thank you for your call. Thanks.
That's what's up, Darisha. We appreciate your call. You're a super citizen
That's
as
way
well.
in the morning.
All right, let's get a question from. Okay, why?
She said
now?
Yeah, she gave her own
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
button.
the original.
Oh,
So, you know.
okay. I already saw that. Okay. All right. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in. Billy in Kansas, what's your question?
Hey, Billy.
We got David
Hey,
Weber
how y'all
here.
doing?
Excellent.
Hey, so it's kind of a long question, but not really. But is
Okay, let me do it. Billy.
Yeah.
Don't do the setup. Just go straight to the question.
All right, I got you. All right, so my mom passed away two years ago, and I got custody of my little brother, and he just turned 10 a few weeks ago, and I have a 10-month-old baby that just turned 10 months Saturday. So my question is, I'm noticing the things that she did with me and my brothers, and I don't want to continue doing that. So, like, yelling in the morning, trying to get us up and, getting us ready and talking. It's a house full of dudes. So it's like, me as a 26-year-old, how do I get that comfort to my little brother and then my son, to where it's not like they're growing up in anger and whatnot and stuff like that. Because I feel like I got built up anger, and I don't want to pass that on to the next generation. What are the ways to help me out?
That's a great question. They're gonna do what you do.
Right.
If you're loud, they'll be loud. If you scream, they'll scream. If you yell, they'll yell. If you don't know how to have conversations, they won't know how to have conversations. There'll be a reflection of you in that sense from an emotional standpoint. So the best way to help them is by handling your own business, getting your own therapy, and doing that work, right? I always say respectful anger is extraordinarily important. What's respectful anger? Respectful anger is I can be extraordinarily angry with you, but it's going to be respectful. I get angry with my father occasionally. I would never, ever yell at my father or go off on my father. That's my father, right?
Yes.
And so for spouses or whoever it may be, for your children, allow them to see respectful anger. You may have done something wrong in the house I didn't want to see, but I'm going to show you how to emotionally be well in the home. The best way to do that for yourself is going to get help, going to get therapy for you so that you can work through those issues yourself.
Check this out, Billy. Billy, if you really want to do that, because this man, David Weber, you can follow him at David Weber _LPC, offers those services. If you want to sign up for some classes, I'll take care of it for you.
Yes, sir.
Because you're 26
really
years old raising these kids.
That's
My
all
daughter,
I heard.
that's all I heard.
I was like, a salute to you, Billy. First of all, honor and respect to your mom who made her transition. But at 26, to have a 10-year-old and a 10-month-old, I cannot imagine. It's a lot. So salute to you for calling and being transparent about your situation.
Would you take him on as a client? Would you be interested in that, Billy?
Yes, of course. Like I have two older brothers, but I get all the weight on my shoulders and everything because my mom raised me to be the responsible one. So it just felt like that. So yeah, I would love any help just because I don't like being angry. And I talk to my brothers and I sit them down and talk, but it's just it's life being just anger. Like, and I'm tired of it, and I definitely don't want my son to have like that, to act like that. And he's a happy little boy, and my little brother's good. But yeah, any help, definitely I'll take it.
Yeah, man. Let's do that. I'm gonna connect you to Lonnie Light has your information.
All right,
okay,
thank you.
And we'll make that connection happen.
I'm also a first-time caller.
We got a first-time caller. Wait a minute. Hold up, man. Wait a minute. You should have said that. Come on, man. Wow. Made it.
Yeah.
David, I'm not saying this in Billy's case, but do you think overall sometimes when you hear situations like this, because it could happen right with a sibling or it could happen with an elder in your family, you get in the position to have to care for an elder or something, do you think, or even in a marriage, do you think there's a certain amount of bitterness that can develop because it's like, why me? Like, why am I I don't know if it's burdened with this, but why do I have to deal with this?
No, that is a burden. You may not, identify it as a burden, but that's a burden when you have a plan for your own life, and then this happens, and that changes your whole plans for your own life.
Right.
So yeah, you're gonna carry around some bitterness and some resentment and some anger. So it makes sense to me why you would be angry, right?
Yeah.
You didn't ask for this, and so. Yeah, you definitely need some help.
Help with that. Yeah.
Yo, Billy, we got you, brother. All right, Lonnie got your
thank you.
information, and I'll get you 10. I'll get you 10 sessions.
Wow.
All right.
I got you. I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank
but
you,
make sure
Blake.
you do them because
Yes,
you can
sir.
do it. You can do it via Zoom. Okay.
Via Zoom. Okay. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, my brother. Hey, man,
God
we're
bless.
proud of you.
Yeah, man.
And that you
Thank
taking
you.
this initiative.
He stepped up.
You got it, man. You got it. All right. You're a super citizen,
Let's
brother.
sway in the morning.
Thank you.
Wow, man.
Sheesh.
That's tough.
Whew. We
That's
got
tough.
that's
10
tough.
and 10?
10 and 10, kid. 10 months and
At
10
26.
At 26. My daughter's 25. You scare me. I feel like a grandfather.
And you ain't 26. Okay, sorry.
Whatever,
That was
Heather.
from not
That-
calling
that-
me
that-
back.
that was
Okay, that was
wrong.
petty.
That
All right,
was
that's
wrong.
stuff with family.
That was
Yeah,
wrong.
It was.
What do you do in this case, David?
Tuck your tail.
Tuck your tail. We need family therapy. Citizens for years, Rich from Philly has been calling us, and anytime we have, especially in the political realm, but anytime we hear about any legal matters, this man would graciously call us up on his way to work, on his way to court, any different times, forms, and fashions, and answer these questions. We became friends. And he's come to our events, and he came out to New York, and y'all heard him on the phone last week. We said, come up today. Rich from Philly is here.
Yes, our resident attorney. Rich!
What, y'all just hanging out, you and Alexa? What's going on?
It's my birthday tomorrow. We had to come up to celebrate. Bring that on, y'all, real quick.
It's his birthday, Torch. It's his birthday. Torch? Okay.
I'm surprised him, too.
I thought R. Kelly was
It's your
gonna come on.
birthday. It's your birthday.
Love you, Sway.
It's your birthday. And we don't give a huck. It's just your birthday, Rich.
Shout out to Rich. Happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday, Rich. Hey, man, you got a question since we got this guy here? You've been married a year and a half. I know because I was the first to announce you.
You were. You had the privilege of introducing us.
Thank you, man, and I'm forever honored for that. Yes.
But you have a question. So we're talking about childhood trauma, learned behavior, habits, things you bring in from how you were raised. Mm-hmm. What's the advice you have for, I guess we're still newlyweds, what's the advice you have for newlyweds on how to create your own habits, how to unlearn some behaviors that you brought in from your parents and from the way their marriage was and try to create your own?
Wow, wonderful question. Individual therapy. A lot of couples go to couple therapy, and it doesn't work if you're not doing your own work. Because you have your own childhood stuff that's separate from her own childhood stuff. And so if y'all aren't addressing those issues separately, then having couples counseling it gives you a few tools, but it doesn't work very well. The best way for couples counseling is you doing your own work, she doing her own work, and then you all come together and see a family therapist or a couples therapist and do the work together. But that's a wonderful question.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful question.
Do y'all do that right now?
Right now everything's copacetic, but
All right.
good to know. We're still in that newlywed phase.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That love fog is still over their head. You know what I mean? Walking the room, every room smells good still. You know what I mean? She's not pissed at you leaving your clothes around the house yet.
She is, but we get through it.
Oh, you get through that? Okay, all right, cool. Individual work.
Yeah.
Individual.
David, I want you to hang out with us, man. I appreciate you coming up
Yes.
here and making this trip, y'all. Citizens, I need every citizen. Anthony of Yonkers, Justin in Toronto, Kamika in Cali, Jason in Ohio.
A lot of calls,
A lot
man.
of callers. If you tuned in, if you didn't call, trust me when I tell you, hit this man up directly. He's very generous in his information and his expertise. Hit him up directly. Last time we had him last month, he had hundreds of people that hit him up. You accommodated everyone?
I got to 99.9999. I got every. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Okay.
They
Wow.
blowing my phone up. Yeah.
Good. So I want y'all to hit him up directly on his Instagram.
Yep.
David Weber, WEBBER _LPC. David Weber _LPC. Is it another way you want them to reach you, or is that it?
Yeah, you could. That's the best way to get the quickest response. But you can also call me at 404-919-4777.
What the hell?
404-919-4777.
This dude gave out a phone number on the radio. Mike Muse, have you ever heard of such a thing? Other than the radios, the station's number?
888-742-3345. That's the only number Sway give out.
Yo, okay, here it is. Blow him up, too, just for giving his number out. 404-919-4777.